P-Funk here from Explodes on 6 Gaming. Looks like it's time for another episode of Terrain on the Brain. Last episode we went over the Sector Meritas container set from TinkerTurf Terrain. Today we're going to go over the Sector Meritas Cover Set from TinkerTurf Terrain. So this is going to be a matching set of terrain from the same system, but it's just little cover barricades, little walls to hide behind. So let's crack it open, see what it has in store, and build it on camera, and we'll get to it. Coming up next. Alright folks, here we go. The Sector Meritas cover set in the neutral zone color scheme. You see you got the TinkerTurf logo with all of its requisite social media. Sector Meritas cover set, neutral zone. They've got build instructions online at http://bit.ly/tinkerturf-how-to. So you can see it's about as thick as the container set, so not a big difference there. Then here we've got all the different pieces we'll be using. Just tear this open real quick. So it looks like these are going to be the bridge pieces with some base pieces. 1, 2, 3 of these guys. And then the actual cover themselves, we've got 3 of these guys. So let's load up the instructions. We'll crack one of these open and we'll come back. Okay, so as previously mentioned, we've got different pieces here, right? These are going to be your barricade pieces. These slats here are going to make tank traps, and then these smaller pieces are going to make small crates. So I'll just go ahead and get started making the tank traps. Just punch these guys out. Alright, that's one. And once again, everything's pre-perforated, so you can just punch it out. And it has little teardrop spots on here for you to put your glue. So let's punch these guys out. Punch these guys out. Okay. So you always want to dry fit to make sure you're doing it correctly. So do that right there, like that, punch that in. And then this piece will go right here like that. And that will make one beam. So I'll just glue that real quick. And we'll get it together. Okay, once you have your pieces punched out, you're going to glue onto the targeting reticles here. Like so. Then you'll just put these two together where it matches up with a little glue button. Or you can glue on the glue symbol itself and match the glue symbol up to the targeting reticle, whichever makes more sense to you. And we're going to clamp them. Like so. Make sure it's all nice and the edges are all nice and even and flat, so that when you go to glue it all together, it glues together nicely. Alright, now we're going to wait for all 3 of these to dry, and once they're dry, we'll glue these on the edges here, we'll glue these on the sides, and then you glue them to each other, kind of overlapping, if you will. And we'll do that once it's dry. For now, we'll move on to building the small crates. Okay, we have all of our small crate pieces punched out. I punched out all the little pieces within. What we're going to do is, basically, we're going to glue that together there. We're going to glue this together there. We're going to fold this into 4 sides. We're going to stick it as a cube, one in there, and then one in there, and it should form a perfect cube. So if you look on the back, you can see where everything needs to be glued together, right? So either glued to the targeting reticle or the little glue symbol, whatever you prefer. We'll glue that on there like so. Just like that. And we'll just put a clamp there, let that dry. And this guy will do the same thing. We'll get a big old glob there. Stick that on. Put that on right there. And we'll let that dry. Then once these pieces dry, we'll fold this guy up, we'll glue it all together, and it'll form one small crate. Now let's move on to the low barriers. Alright folks, we have our barrier or barricade page here. The cool thing about this is there's actually 4 different types of barriers on this page. There is a long, tall barrier, a short, tall barrier, a long, small barrier, and a short, small barrier. So we'll start out with the short, tall barrier. To do that, you just take 53, 54, glue them together, and then hook them into the 261s. So we'll punch out 53. And as you can see, just kind of punches right out there. Punch out 54. And then we'll punch out the 261s. They just punch right out. Alright, then we can punch out the little guys. Little shooting particles. Now, you can do this however you want it. Which one do you want facing outside? Which one do you want facing inside? Doesn't matter. I think that looks kind of cool because it's got the corrugated steel on the outside. And this is the same, so I'm going to do it like that. So I'm going to glue this, and then I'm going to stick them in with this piece. Alright, I'm going to do that off camera and we'll come back. Alright, there it is. So instead of clamping it, the way these things work is they just slide in and hold it together. So I just glued these in there to hold it together. You can set it down flat and just let it dry. Alright, when we come back, we'll go over the next barricade. Alright, next we're going to do this guy in the top left corner here. So let's just punch out 49 and 50. Get that punched out, and then we want 61. 61 there. Find a 61 here. I like to flip it over so the corrugated steel is shown there. So we'll have it up like that. Punch this guy out right here. Glue this together. So I'm going to get the little side pieces here because I didn't do that on the last one. Here we go. Put that together like so. Get some glue in there, the inside there. And we'll just slide that in like so. Don't worry about how it pulls in there. We can wipe that out with a paper towel here in a second. Slide that in there, and then here you go, that's another one. So, oh, I glued that backwards, but you know, that's okay. I'll deal with that. There we go, there's a little one. Alright, next we're going to do this littler one. We're going to use 55, 56, and the 62s. So we'll punch these out here. 55, 56, 62, and 62. So just like last time, I'm just going to glue these together like this. And then we'll... Alright, now we've punched out this little one here, the 55, 56, and the 262s. This is what they look like. So we're going to glue these together like so, and then put the slats through. So, just get your glue on there. Put it together. Set that down for a minute. Put that in right there like that. Get this guy. Get that glue right there. And put this guy in like that. There you go. There's the little one. Alright, now we're going to do the long big one. So that will be 51 and 52. Punch these guys out. And then 261s. Just like all the others, figure out which way you want it. So as you can see, they can be built two different ways. You can have the plasteel or corrugated steel on the outside and the depth on the inside. They're glued against each other to create this depth of texture. Or you could reverse it to have the panels on the outside, corrugated steel on top, and then corrugated steel facing you. That way you see the depth on the outside. Either way, whatever you like, both work and get the job done. So we got our big pieces. I'm gonna glue this to where the panels match, like that. Or you can glue it like that. Either way, whichever way you like. I'm gonna glue it like this because I like seeing the corrugated steel on the outside. So we'll just drip, 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 drip. Put that together. Slide it on there. Line it up nice. Once again, get that guy. Look at that guy. Slide it right in there. Slide that right in there. Set it down and let it dry. We'll let that dry for a bit, and we'll move on to the next one. Alright, for the next one, we're going to do this medium 2 panel. So that's 60, and it was 59, but it already fell out. And 262s. And you just do the same thing for that, and you just do the same thing for the long skinny one. We'll come back after all these are built. Alright folks, so there they are. I misspoke earlier. I said there was 4 different barricades. There's actually 6. So as you can see, there's two types, tall and small. And then they range in 3 sizes with 1 panel, 2 panel, or 3 panel. So those are the barricades. Now the rest of our stuff has dried, so we can go move on to making the crates. These are the small crates. If you want to see the large crates for this terrain, you can check out my other video. So what we're going to do is, here we have the 2 pieces we glued at the beginning, and this is a 3rd piece. What we're going to do is we're going to glue that right there, like this. And then we're going to stick this piece in there and this piece on top. So let's do that real quick. Get some glue in there. Also get some glue in here. You'll note on the inside it tells you which way is up, in case. You just stick that in like that. And you can put some glue in here. And we'll put that together and we'll let that dry. And again, don't worry about the excess. You can wipe that off with a napkin and it will dry clear if you don't. So that's one small crate right there. And we'll set that off to the side. We can move on to our tank traps. So we glued these together earlier and they have glued finally. So we're going to go in, essentially you're going to glue these together like so. To make one side, and then you'll glue the pieces, the little glue dots, to each other, and it'll form little tank traps. So we'll do that real quick. Essentially, you want this little white band here to be facing the inside. That's how it's going to line up. Like so. Place that in the middle. And you can see this has 2 spots for gluing, one there and one there. That's where we're going to lay the other 2 pieces once we glue them together. So now that these are drying, essentially, you're going to glue it together like that. Sorry, like this, because you'll see these 2 here we go, like that. And these 2 should be perpendicular to each other. So you can do that right there. See that little line right there? I'm just going to line those lines up like that. And that'll let us glue it like this. So there's one, and there's one, and it'll look like that. So there we go. So we'll glue that together and we'll come back when it's done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here it is in all of its glory. This is one full sheet in the package for the covers and barricades set. The set itself comes with 3 sheets. So everything you see here multiplied by 3. So it'll be 9 crates, 6 tank traps, 3 of each different size of barricade. So speaking of barricades, for size comparison, just grab a little orc here. So orc right there, orc right here, orc right there, work right there. So as you can see, pretty good size. Alright, so you can see the orc next to the steel traps, orc behind the small barricade, and orc behind the large barricade. So yeah, 32 bucks, $32.99 for 3 of these sheets. Again, like I said in the previous video, if you don't like painting terrain, this does not take long at all. It looks great, it feels sturdy, there's texture to it, it's not going to break, and it gets done quick, it's super cheap, looks great. I think it's awesome. Once again, I'll have it all linked in the description of the video, and we hope to see you again for the next one. Happy wargaming, and this has been P-Funk with Terrain on the Brain.